Okay, so in the previous segment, we ran through an analytical calculation of the electric field value at 100 millimeters away from a point source. And the value that we came up with was 8.99 times 10 to the 11 volts per meter. What we're going to do now is run through a computational analysis. So here is the environment that we'll be working in here. I'll just give a quick overview of some of the features and basically the way of maneuvering and moving around here. These tabs that we see along the top are what we call ribbons. They're going to control the ribbons. So you'll see there's a desktop ribbon, there's a view ribbon, simulation, automation, so on and so forth. As we move around the tool, depending on what operation we're doing, you're going to notice that the buttons in the ribbon will change accordingly. You'll also see that there are what we call the menu options. Now in the menu options, you're going to notice that there's similar operations that I might access through here. I can either do them through the menu or I can do them through buttons on the ribbon, and it's really just a matter of preference on how we do it. So hopefully that doesn't get too confusing as we go through it. I just wanted you to be aware that there are different ways of doing the same thing in multiple ways. The windows that I have right now, I've got you can see there's a number of windows that have gray bars with titles on them. Project Manager, if I go to View, you can see all these different things are toggled on. So everything that's toggled on right here with a check mark means that you should see it as a window somewhere. So Message Manager, Progress down here at the bottom. All these things may be important as we go through some of the discussion. So if you look at our design, the default name that I happen to have is called Project 4. Yours might be different. There's nothing in here yet. There's a folder with something called Definitions. So the hierarchy of a computational analysis is in Electronics Desktop is basically going to be a project. It kind of looks like a folder maybe. It kind of gives the idea of a hierarchy. A project is basically going to be all-encompassing for any number of designs that we have in the project, or I should say design types. So the design type that we want is going to be something called Maxwell. And if I expand this out, I'll see there's a number of different things that are related to that button. We want to use Maxwell 3D. So I'm going to select that, and if you see what happens in the project tree, there's a new node that pops up that's got a default name of Maxwell 3D Design 1. I can see something over here in the modeler window, and in the tree over here I have a new tree that popped up. We'll be going through some of these operations. Hopefully you're able to follow along with me as we build this up from scratch. I also have a component library window that popped up. That turns out I don't really need any of this right now, so I'm going to turn this off by hitting the X, and now it just gives me a little bit more space. My default preference is to have Message Manager in case there's some warnings or errors that pop up. Also, Progress will come in handy as well. So you're free to resize these however you want, and you can certainly do your own preferences later on. If you're a user of Maxwell already, you might already have some things figured out. So with the Draw tab activated, you can see all these different buttons, and we're going to be using some of them for sure. You'll also notice that I've got the ruler that is toggled on. I can toggle that ruler on and off, but sometimes that can be handy for a reference here. It looks like it's set up for my default. The grid is on. I can turn the grid on and off. I happen to be in a mode where I'll be sketching things out with the default in the XY plane. You can choose that as needed, but there's no reason to change anything right now.